This meeting is being recorded.
A very good morning to all the participants. We are absolutely thrilled to welcome you to the inspiring session of EEC, the Exposition Entrepreneurial Community, Phase 1.0, which is conducted as a part of Exposition Issue 19. Exposition is a premier university business magazine published annually in Sri Lanka by the Industrial Management Science Students Association, which is the preeminent student body of the Department of Industrial Management, University of Kelaniya, bringing the realms of management and information technology together. Without delay, let me introduce our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Lahiru Perera, the CEO of Xigenix. A visionary pioneer, Xigenix aims to transcend limits, leaving a legacy of creativity and progress. They carve new paths, shaping the entrepreneurial future with boundless innovation. Today with us, Mr. Lahiru embodies a commitment to nurturing young talents, fostering a journey in the business world. Welcome to a future where invention knows no boundaries. Today, Mr. Lahiru will explore on next-gen entrepreneurs thriving in the age of Gen Z. Sail through Gen Z's business world with tech smarts and genuine vibes. Use cool ideas, rock online visibility, and champion social stuff. Adapt, personalize, and flex your style. Stay hip, grow smart, and tell a cool story. Without further ado, let us brace yourselves for a journey that offering valuable insights into embrace tech savvy. Over to you, Mr. Lahiru.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Good morning. Really happy to see very energetic group of future entrepreneurs. And I have engaged with the other faculties in your university, but I see you guys are more energetic and driven by entrepreneurship energy. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm Lahiru. So I'm based in Brisbane, Australia. I'm the CEO of Xigenix. Bit of a background of me. Oh, let me actually share my screen while I'm talking. One moment, please. I hope you can see my screen. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen, please. I assume you can see my screen. All right. So, next generation entrepreneurs thriving in the age of Gen Z. I think I need to give me 1 minute, please. All right. So before I get started, I will do a quick, very brief introduction about myself. As I mentioned, I'm the CEO of Xigenix. Interesting story, which I would think like everyone would get inspired. How I become an entrepreneur, how I started a business, and then I started multiple startups. Back then, when I was in school, before A-levels. I used to be a very techie guy, like doing things and creating new things, and inspired by all the innovations out there in the world. So I wanted to do a few things, like some cool tech things. So back then, I had no idea about entrepreneurship or doing a business, or had no clue about money or capitalism or anything, finance. My whole idea was to do something innovative, something cool. So yeah, during my O-levels time in school, I created a home automation solution. This is back in 1998, 1999, I would say. Probably you might, hopefully you guys are born at that time, Gen Zs, probably early stage of Gen Z time. So I created a home automation solution, and before I knew it was a really good innovation, and I ended up getting the patent for that. So I participated in few TV programs and demonstrated how it works. This is way before the smartphones, right? The smartphones we know, like these smartphones, it was dumb phones back then. Actually, but there were no, um, it's very less, I would say, cellular phones back then. They were dumb phones, but they were very rare to find back then. 1998, 1997 in Sri Lanka specifically. So this home automation solution is linked to mobile phones and so on. But I was so obsessed with the technology. I was so obsessed with this, like thing I have done, but I have no clue or no idea what's next. So I got the patent, and people were asking for, all right, would you like to, like join and collaborate and market this thing? And I was, back then, I had no clue about why do I need so much money, 2000 early days, because um, I got what I want from my family. So my obsession back then was to create something new. So patent was there, and after a few years, I got another patent for something else. But when I entered into the university, then I felt the financial pressure. Like as a lot of entrepreneurs, they felt the financial pressure. I need to have money, right? Then only I realized, all right, if I am good at innovation, I should find a way to market and commercialize innovations. And that's where I thought, all right, if I could actually create something really big, something really new, and I could get rich and I could have money, right? In the university, then you could cover your expenses and do all the new things you wanted. So but when I think about that, in Sri Lanka, it was very difficult to, like commercialize the new innovation, like especially a hardware product. Just to let you know that my second patent was about a digital writing pen. So when you write, it will actually digitalize the data and store in your pen. This is early 2001, 2004 period I developed this. And I got the patent too. But it was very difficult to commercialize in Sri Lanka. And then my natural progression, all right, if money is the problem, if finance is the problem, there are a few ways to earn money or overcome the finance. I can do a job, I can do a business. So naturally, my progression was to do a business. So in the university, I started reselling mobile phones to my batchmates and friends and family. It was very well, earned really good money, and also repaired phones. But in my gut, inside me, I felt like this is just, I want to overcome the problem of this financial problem, but my passion was to create something new and then commercialize. So along the years, I learned a lot of lessons. So innovation, commercialization of research, and creating new things all go hand in hand, especially in a capitalized world, where the capitalism is the majority of the countries I'm embracing nowadays. So I learned like, all right, there are ways to do innovation, not just creating innovation in hardware, but also software. So I moved into software startups and then moved to Australia. I started my journey as a software engineer and then started so many startups with the other co-founders, failed miserably, which is a good thing. I will talk to you guys shortly. And then I'm still learning today. So entrepreneurship is just a constant learning journey, an evolving journey. And now I have a company in Sri Lanka, which is our R&D center. Majority of our software engineers are in there, and also in Australia and Canada. So that's brief background of myself. So let me move to the other slide. Before we actually move into entrepreneurship and other insights and explore those things, would you guys mind to actually watch this video very carefully? Some of you might have already seen this in my previous presentations, but have a look at the impressions very carefully. These guys, very famous people. You might have seen him in movies. Look at their facial expressions, what they are telling. And this is 1.5 minutes video. I will quickly play it.
Even like Marty just came back from 1976. And he's mad about what he saw. Dude, you did great. I did good. You did great. Let's just go. We're gonna go again. We're gonna what?
All right. So, hope you guys notice the emotions. Like sometimes they're very joyful, sometimes they're crying, overwhelmed with the thrilling feeling. And then in the end, do I need to do this again? So it's kind of like bag of emotions, roller coaster ride in extreme level, right? You saw their facial expressions. Sometimes they want to stop. So if I just tell you, this is how the entrepreneur's life is about. This is literally 24/7 entrepreneur's life. Sometimes it's so thrilling, sometimes full of fear, sometimes full of happiness, and then suddenly deep diving into I'm going to die kind of feeling. And then you ask the question sometimes, So I need to stop. Why I'm doing this? I need to stop. Regardless, you're a startup, regardless, you're a multi-billion-dollar company, regardless, for example, even if you're in the position of Elon Musk, you will feel this emotional roller coaster as an entrepreneur. So just to give you heads up, for all the Gen Z or new entrepreneurs coming or willing to be entrepreneur, the ride is thrilling, ride is exciting. Sometimes it is painful, but you need to love that journey. So that's basically a life of an entrepreneur. So now let's move to the next slide, talk about these generations. I would like to know, I'm from Generation Y. Most probably you guys are from Generation Z. So we know about this terminology, millennials, Generation Z, and also probably you might heard about Generation X as well. So what are all those things? Are there any other generations? Let's quickly have a look. So this is called social generations. So down in the bottom, you see this, you see this timeline. So we are now in 2023 or 2024. That's where the Generation Z, and there's a new one, Generation Alpha. So millennials, roughly mid or early 1980s to 1990s. So the people who born in 1980s and then early 1990s. Generation Z is people born in early 2000s and also late 1990s. So after Generation Z, there's another generation, you could see the orange bit. It is called Generation Alpha. That's the newest generation. So after 2015, anyone born in after, I don't think we have anyone here, but if you are born in 2015 or after 2015, you're called Generation Alpha. So before that, there was Generation X. There was the baby boomers. And then there was a generation called silent generation. And then back then, early 1900s, great generation. And then 1880s, it was called lost generation. So you could see the social scientists have divided these generations into several categories. So Generation Z is what we are talking about today, Generation Z. And millennials, our population or our group of people, millennials, now in mid-30s, 40, 30s, around that age. Generation Z, you could see they're now, like stabilizing. Obviously, baby boomers are very old, or they are now not anymore in the world. You could see only a few portion in the blue line. It's only very small portion of the baby boomers are still alive. Silent generation, obviously they are gone. Greatest generation, they're gone. Lost generation, they're gone. So this is, for social scientists, a way of categorizing generations. So generations were there long time ago, and there will be generations for in future too. There are significant differences and sometimes similarities in these generations. For example, Generation Z and millennials sometimes share similar characteristics. But they're vastly different from, let's say, Generation Z and greatest generation. They're vastly different. The mindset they build, how they perceive the world, how they their values, vastly different. So these generations, when social scientists actually divide them, they consider some changes in the economy, the technology, and the socio-economic environment when they're categorizing those um, generations. So Generation Z, you guys most probably are the generation who are born with technology, smartphones, internet, and now living with AI as well, but it's going to be different for Generation Alpha. So we need to understand there are so many generations previously, and there will be few other generations in future as well. This is not the start, this is not the end. All right, so let's move to the other screen. One thing I wanted to tell you, because we are talking about entrepreneurship. In all those generations, people, they did business, they did economic activities, they engaged in economic activities, they incorporated businesses, one form or another form. It was there. The way we do business has changed over the generations. The business models have evolved. The revenue models have evolved across the generation. So if we say like 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, back then also in early days of civilization, economic activities were there, but in very, very different form. You could see this is the exchange culture back then, 2,000, 3,000 years ago. People exchange goods. I'm just thinking I might actually do this presentation in English, and also I might actually use Sinhala as well, because it will relate more to you guys time to time. So I might actually use Sinhala language as well. So මේ අවුරුදු 2000 ගානකට කලින් ඉඳන් සමහර වෙලාවට exchange කරලා මේ මොනවද දුවමානු සංස්කෘතියෙන් තිබිලා තියෙනවා. So it was there. But how we did business, how we do business have evolved over the years. So it's not a new thing, right? Entrepreneurship is very cool word, but it is not a new thing. It was there. People invented things, people commercialized things, people exchanged goods, economic activities were there. අහලා ඇතිනේ මේ රජ කාලේ මේ very මේ සිටුවරු හිටියා, බොහොම මේ පොහොසත් සිටුවරු හිටියා, වෙළඳාම් කරපු අය හිටියා, right? So entrepreneurship ඒ කාලෙත් තිබුණා. මේ Gen Z millennials ආපු ගෙනාපු අලුත් cool word එකක් නෙමෙයි මේක, right? All right, අපි let's go into Generation Z. Why Generation Z or Z? If you are talking in American language, Generation Z, otherwise Generation Z. Zoomers, අපි කියන්නේ Zoomers කියලා. So they are born in late 1990s and early 2010s. So you could see this light purple area in the timeline. That's where the baby boomers are. Sorry, Zoomers, Generation Z, are in. So we are specifically talking about this group of people and how these people are going to take over the world in the entrepreneurship, and you know, like they are going to be the leaders in few years in this world. They are going to be the majority in this world. So we are going to dig deep specifically about Gen Zs, which is you guys. So I would like to ask a question, and I'm going to share my screen again. And what you guys need to do is take out your mobile phone, or if you're in front of a computer, follow the instructions in the screen and just answer these quick questions. Let me share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? I think you can see my screen. Right. So what you need to do is like take your phone, scan this QR code, or if you are on a mobile laptop or desktop, go to menti.com and enter this code. Otherwise, just scan this QR code. Then it will give you a screen to enter to this quiz. I will wait 30 seconds until everyone is ready. All right. So let's move to the first question. Your birth year is between, please select the year. I just wanted to know the audience. How many Gen Zs are here? How many Gen Ys are here? How many Gen Xs are here? So I have received 7, we have received 7 responses. All Gen Zs. Oh, wow. All right. Let's wait a minute or so. If you want the screen again, here's this QR code. Go to menti.com, enter it, or just using your camera, scan this QR code. All right, 1% Gen Y. Wow, good. Okay. All right. So the trend is very clear. I think more than 95% or 90% of the audience, they're Gen Zs. So, right audience, there are 2 people, Gen Ys. There's no Gen X people here, which is a good thing. All right. So we are with the right audience. So I will ask another question now. So I'm going to move to the next screen. So this one is about if you want to become an entrepreneur, why do you want to become an entrepreneur? Within 2 words, just using 2 words, just explain why you would like to become an entrepreneur. For example, it could be financial freedom. Another example would be more freedom. Just type your answers there and post it. So we could see as a whole, yeah. You can see freedom here, financial freedom. Time, risk taking, money. Fun. Good. More control. being independent, create jobs. I'll just go to the previous one if someone wants to scan it again. QR code, if you want to scan again, or Menti with this code. Adrenaline rush. All right, that's very interesting. Self-satisfaction, innovative. Mm-hmm. All right. Happiness, own boss, new paths, creative. So you could see Generation Z, majority of this audience, why they want to become an entrepreneur. You could see there's a lot of reasons to become an entrepreneur, and none of them are right or wrong. These are personal choices to become an entrepreneur. And there could be more. While we are talking, we could actually see other people are putting their thoughts in. But you could see a prominent word in here, freedom. So you don't need to be stuck in a job and you think you will get freedom and money and doing innovative things and happiness. I would like to ask a question from this audience, from you. So do you think when you become a businessman or an entrepreneur, you will get a lot of freedom? Because it's one of the prominent words in here. The reality is, it is subjective. It is very subjective. If you think becoming an entrepreneur is give you all the freedom, do whatever you want, whenever you want, is up to a limit. It's true, but it has a lot of pros and cons. If you just compare it with a job, daytime job, generally you work 8 hours, right? Or let's say 8 to 9 hours. But entrepreneur, they have to work 24/7. Sometimes even when you're sleeping, you need to think about the business, what you're going to do next, how we are going to do the next acquisition, how you are going to actually do the expansion of your business. So for outsiders, it feels like, yeah, there's a lot of freedom. For example, let's say Elon Musk, you might think he has a private jet. He's the richest person in the world. He can do anything he wants, whenever he wants. But is that the real definition of freedom? I'm not going to answer that question. That's something you guys need to explore. What's the definition of freedom? If you think freedom is one of the key things becoming an entrepreneur. And also money. Whatever put in here is not right or wrong. So there's 47 responses. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this is how your group is thinking about entrepreneurship. In a just one word cloud, this is how your team is thinking about entrepreneurship. All right, so next one, I would like to get your thoughts. What are the other options apart from becoming an entrepreneur? So, like, hari, then business එකක් පටන් ගන්නේ නැත්නම් startup එකක් කරන්නේ නැත්නම් what are you going to do? Let's say after your graduation, what are you going to do? What are your options? Please type in your options and it will appear in here. I would like to see few answers in here. Freelancing, doing 8 to 5 job, working in a company, yes, job, yeah. Working at a company. Do higher studies, yeah. I just wanted to highlight something. You cannot do higher studies forever, right? You can do, but you need to live. So who's going to pay for the higher studies? Who's going to pay for your rent or the car or whatever? So higher studies, you can do higher studies, but there should be something you should be doing. Community leadership, yes, good. Probably politics, maybe. All right. Doing 8 to 5 job for money and after invest them to make more money and resign. All right, good. Do a job, go abroad. So what are you going to do after going abroad? Doing researches, yes, good. After going abroad, either you have to do part-time jobs, full-time jobs, become an entrepreneur or do further studies and then do freelancing and then do a job. So going abroad is an interim kind of thing. After graduation, what you are going to do? Becoming an artist. Yes, very good. So you could see, if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, there are so many other options too. But majority options, we could categorize doing a job, doing freelancing, or content creating, or probably doing something like becoming an artist and then earning from that. It's not a job, probably. I would say that skill, earning from that skill. Whichever the way, there's a pattern and trend you could see in here. After the graduation or when you are going into the mass society, in the current world, you have to do something. You cannot just be there and sitting there and do nothing. You have to do something. And why do you need to do something? The main thing you could see, becoming an entrepreneur and then doing 9 to 5 job, or go a content creator, becoming an artist, there's a fundamental element in here you could see. That's finance. සල්ලි හෝ එහෙම නැත්නම් economic related matter එකක් මෙතන underlying foundation එක විදිහට තියනවා කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්න ඕන. මම කිව්වේ මේ අපි උදාහරණයකට ගත්තොත් higher studies, going abroad, they're interim. They're interim steps. After that, you need to earn money, or you need to have a way of living. Economic motivate වෙච්ච, එහෙම නැත්නම් economic foundation එක වෙච්ච මොකක් හෝ activity එකක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට engage වෙන්න වෙනවා. Unless you are having you are coming from a very, very rich family, you don't need to worry about money, then there's something you have to do. A pattern එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේනවා. Right? But ඒක foundation එක විදිහට තියාගෙන we can choose. I would like to do freelancing. I would like to do a job. I would like to become an entrepreneur, become a businessman. And in each of these categories, you can do good things. Create jobs, entrepreneur කෙනෙක් විදියට, thrill ride එකක් විදියට adrenaline rush එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. If you are let's say a content creator, you could create content and share with people, and also you're earning money. You have to earn money, otherwise you cannot survive. So that foundation, think about that. This is financial and economic foundation. Why we need to do something, otherwise we cannot survive, or I would say live in the current conditions in the world, right? අපි ඒකට කැමති වුණත් නැති වුණත් ඒක තමයි reality එක. ඉතින් ඒක වෙනම debate එකක්. ඒකද හරි දේ කියන එක. නමුත් මේක තමයි reality එක. Alright. මම question එකක් අහන්නම් දැන් if you would like to start your entrepreneurship journey, මොන field එකෙන්ද? What area or what industry you would like to start your journey? I would like to get a sense of this audience, whether they are more into tech, whether they are, into other areas of the. I haven't actually excluded tech in here purposely. So in these areas, even if it is tech, there should be an industry. I would like to see your thoughts. Other, yeah, I can see one person is responding. Other. Mm-hmm. Want to see the QR code, here it is again. All right. Variety of industries. Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. Wow, a lot of restaurants and food entrepreneurs. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. So you could see in our audience, in this audience, variety of areas. ඔගොල්ලෝ different industries වල business එකක් පටන් ගන්න කැමති. මේ audience එකේ බහුතරයක් food and restaurant, food startups, food or restaurant related startups or business එකකට වැඩියෙන් කැමැත්තක් තියෙනවා කියලා පේනවා. But business එකක් කරන්න හැමෝම එකම field එකේ එකම industry එකේ වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියන එක obvious. This graph is very colorful with different options, right? And very interesting other කියලා category එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක second වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේකට පේන්නේ නැති, මේකට capture වෙන්නේ නැති industries වල business කරන්නත් ඕ එහෙම නැත්නම් entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙන්නත් මේ audience එකේ සමහර අය කැමති, which is a good thing. All right, now let me stop this for a moment and then I will share my presentation again. All right. Okay. අපි මේ ටික cover කරා. අපි so what's the definition of entrepreneurship? Oh, entrepreneur කියන්නේ කවුද? definition එක මොකක්ද? දැන් මම ඕගොල්ලෝගෙන් ඇහුවා what it feels like to be an entrepreneur. Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? And මම කිව්වා entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙන්න කැමති නම් වෙන options මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලා. We explored those things. But what is the actual definition? මේ dictionary definition එක ගත්ත. Look at this carefully. The activity of setting up a business or businesses taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. And Wikipedia it says entrepreneurship is the creation or extraction of economic value. Then entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙන්න කැමති මොකද කියන එකේ අපි අර කලින් බලපු එකේ මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝන්ගෙත් අදහස් ගොඩක් තිබ්බනේ. Which is true, everything is true. Adrenaline rush එකක් එන්න ඕනේ, creating job opportunities and also having freedom. And there were some people saying about money, yes, and also innovation, creativity. Everything is true. But the definition, the actual core, ඇයි අපි business එකක් කරන්නේ in this capitalist world or in this current conditions of the world? Why do we need to become an entrepreneur? The definition, the real essence boils down to an economic value, a creation or extraction of economic value, and more specific, earning profit from a business, right? Otherwise, it's not a business, it's a non-profit. You know about that, non-profits, charitable organizations. So entrepreneur කෙනා එහෙම නැත්නම් entrepreneurship කියන එක නා එතනදී creation and extraction of economic value. Profit එක කියන එක fundamental there. Is it right or wrong? That's something we will discuss a bit later, but that's the definition. Gen Z's la, mama sneak peek එක දෙන්න. They are challenging this status quo. ඕගොල්ලෝ මේ තියෙන definition එකට challenge කරන්න ඉන්න generation එක. Hope for the profit, creation and extraction of economic value. Mostly Generation X, Generation Y ටිකක් Z 80%ක්ම හිතන්නේ majority profit, economic value creation, very selfish mentality එකක් තියෙනවා. Generation Z, you guys are different. You guys, it's proven now from multiple research, you guys are challenging this status quo. You guys believe that there should be profit, there should be economic value created, but there should be a purpose. There should be a value for what you guys are doing. That's the difference between the other generations and you when it comes to entrepreneurship. So, ඕගොල්ලෝ අපි හිතුවට වඩා ටිකක් වෙනස්. ඒ වගේම අපේ පරපුරෙන් කලින් හිටපු පරපුරට වඩා හිතන විදිය වෙනස්. You guys will do business. You guys will become entrepreneurs. But your state of mind, your value system is little bit advanced or changed than us. No. We don't need to do everything for profit. Exploitation, environment, ethical, planet, පෘථුවියේ ඉන්න බැරි තත්ත්වයක් හදාගෙන මේ business කරන්න ඕනේ. There should be a meaning කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ believe කරන generation එක. So that's proven. Let's talk about that in detail later. But as it is, entrepreneurship කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේක තමයි definition එක. Right? All right. So අපි ඊළඟට මේ ඉස්සලා quiz එකේදී අහුවා මොනවාද අනිත් options. What are our other options apart from becoming an entrepreneur, right? So if we actually group all those things you guys suggested and anything and everything in the world we can do to make a living or live in this world, it's just 4 categories. 9 to 5 job, you know, like, or 8 to 5 job. The becoming an employee, working for a company. That's very common. Job එකක් හොයාගන්නවා, job එක කරනවා, ඒකෙන් salary එකක් ගන්නවා, salary එකෙන් ගයක් ගන්නවා, එහෙම නැත්නම් car එකක් ගන්නවා, family එකක් ඉන්නවා, you go for vacations, whatever you do based around your job, and then becoming an employee. That's the first quadrant. I just need to let you know this quadrants, this categorization was introduced or was explained or was discussed by Robert Kiyosaki, and he's an author, an investor, and a speaker, American businessman, and also an investor. Maybe you guys have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, so one of his books. So he talks about these quadrants in his book. I just want to give credit to him because I'm using these categories and ideas from his book, Cash Flow Quadrants. I told you everything we are doing, even if you are going to become a entrepreneur or doing a job, or if you are doing freelancing, there's a fundamental fact that it needs to be having some elements of economic incentives, right? Cash flow quadrant එකේ කියන්නේත් ඒකම තමයි. So then you guys notice some people told about content creation. Some people told about freelancing. And also some people told about doing research. And that normally goes into self-employed, at least the first two of the things, content creation and also freelancing going to self-employed category. ඒ කියන්නේ self-employed කියන්නේ company එකක් විදියට methodologically set up කරගෙන කරන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් basically you're selling one of your skills, not working for a company, but you have a freedom to sell your skill or create an economic value using your skill. Freelancing, very obvious there. Freelance research කළා ඕ එහෙම නැත්නම් research group එකක් විදියට වැඩ කරලා earn කරන්න පුළුවන්. And also content creation, also self-employed. Then මේවයි further මේ expansions තියෙනවා. Self-employed කෙනෙක් එයා යටතේ තව කීප දෙනෙක් අරගෙන මේ business එක දියුණු කරන්න පුළුවන්. තව උදාහරණයක්, let's say a beautician. Or let's say if you know someone who's running a salon, they're also self-employed, right? The difference between self-employed and business owner, which is the third one, business owner is more formally running a business as a company or as a business, and he actually recruits people, he or she recruits people to do the work. අපි business එකක් පටන් ගන්නකොට අපි තනියම පටන් ගන්න අපි ඒක more formally register කරලා business එකක් විදියට company එකක් විදියට register කරලා staff එක ගන්න level එකට එනවා කියන්නේ that's becoming a business owner, right? Then you go into this business owner category. And there's another one. I saw one person actually mentioned about that. I don't know whether she or he mentioned he want to earn money from doing a job and save that money and invest in that money and quit the job. Basically, the term investor. Pinnacle of this cash flow quadrant is investor. Investors තමයි businesses run කරන්න funds දෙන්නේ. Investors තමයි මේ capitalist world එකේ kind of like the engine එක විදියට තියෙන. One of the engines, I would say. ඉතින් ඒකත් එක category එකක්. Investors are earning money. They are living through investment. Investment එකක් කරන්නේ just not for fun, right? They do for an economic incentive. ROI කියන එකක් අහලා තියෙනවා, return on investment. So they put money expecting and return. So that's their economic incentive. So මේ quadrants හතර තමයි broadly speaking ලෝකේ තියෙන. ඔක්කොම අපි group කරොත් එහෙම ඔය හතරට තමයි වැටෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේකේ employee කෙනෙක් වීම, එහෙම නැත්නම් self employed වීම, එහෙම නැත්නම් business owner කෙනෙක් වීම, investor කෙනෙක් වීම කිසිම එකක් no right or wrong answer here. You could be very successful in either of these things. And you could be miserably failed in either of these things, right? For example, so the question is, someone want to become an entrepreneur. Oh, should I be an employee? Oh, it's better to be an entrepreneur, or better to be an investor or business owner, right? එකක් අනිත් එකට වඩා හොඳද? That's subjective answer. But if you look at the current world, anyone can be very, very successful, highly successful in either of these categories. Few examples. These are some of the content creators, right? අපි කිව්වොත් එහෙම YouTubersලා එහෙම නැත්නම් vlogersලා Sarah $25 million per year income, right? Jimmy Donaldson, you know, he has a very famous YouTube channel. $50 million income in 2022. That's more than some of the, actually, I would say more than most of the companies in Sri Lanka, right? Well, majority of the companies, $50 million earn karanet naha. There are, but majority, I'm saying. But he's just one person, YouTuber earning 50 million. So these people are categorized as self-employed individuals, right? But very successful. මේගොල්ලෝ යටතෙත් දැන් කට්ටිය වැඩ කරනවා. Right? Jimmy has people to edit videos. You know, like they have few. Probably you might heard about MKBHD. YouTuber කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවද නැහැ ඔය devices අලුත් එහෙම review කරන. His income is around this much or probably more than this. එයාට මම හිතන්නේ 20ක් 30ක් වගේ ඉන්නවා දැන් staff, right? He started a YouTube channel. That's his business, his job, and they're self-employed, categorized as self-employed businessmen, and then grown into business owners. You can be successful doing freelancing if you want to be, if you want to become successful. And also jobs. Then අපි හිතනවානේ 9 to 5 job එකක් කියන්නේ it's not a good thing. Less salary, right? So these examples are from Australia. Highest paid jobs in Australia. So Shamara Vikramsinghe, CEO of Makura Group, banking group, 24 million per year salary. This is salary, eh? So this is the monthly pay karanawa, annual salary 24 million. As I mentioned, some companies don't even earn that much, right? As a company. And they're the BHP Group CEO, Mike, 10 million. But there's so many. If you want to become successful by doing a job, certainly, right? You can become very successful and earn really big salaries if you want to do so. So there's no right or wrong answer in there. And also, very important, you could shift from one quadrant to the other. Employee කෙනෙක් වෙලා ඉඳලා ඊට පස්සේ freelance කරලා ඊට පස්සේ business owner කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. And then business owner become an investor. So personally, my story was like that. I used to work in Sri Lanka for 1 year back then. And then I didn't actually do self-employed things. I shifted to business owner. I started a business. And then I'm now investing as well. So you could actually shift between those things. But generally, if you become an investor or business owner, it's highly unlikely you will go back and do a job. Because there's adrenaline rush becoming a business owner. It's a roller coaster ride and it is addictive. So once you are becoming a business owner and investor, unless there's something seriously going wrong in your life, it's highly unlikely you will go and do a job again. There are instances people have done that, but it's highly unlikely that you will do a job if you have been doing a business or conducting a business operation or become like an investor. It's highly unlikely you go back, right? Now, මෙන්න මෙතනදී මට very important දෙයක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියන්න ඕනේ. Generation Z ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ group එක ඕගොල්ලන්ට choice එකක් දුන්නොත් වැඩිපුර කැමති entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙන්න. ඒ කිව්වේ quadrant 2 or quadrant 3 වෙන්න කැමති. ඒක mindset එකේ shift වීම. Generation X ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ආච්චිලා සීයලා වෙන්න පුළුවන් බොහෝ දුරට හොඳට ඉගෙන ගන්න ජොබ් එකක් හොඳ ජොබ් එකක් කරන්න. Get a job mentality එකේ හිටියේ, right? Even our generation do a degree, get a job කියන එකේ හිටියේ. ඊට පස්සේ shift වුණා entrepreneurs ලක්ද ඉන්නවා. නමුත් in your category Gen Z is more thinking about why should I become an මගේම දෙයක් මම පටන් ගන්නවා කියන මානසිකත්වයේ ඉන්නේ. This is proven from research. Actually, I will jump into this slide. The trend. Generation Z, 84% of Generation Z recently, they want to be entrepreneurs rather than doing exciting jobs. 84%. This is Yahoo research. And this is CNBC. It's also in this year, research run by them. 50% of Generation Z wants to ditch their corporate job to run their own businesses. So it's obvious in your group, you know, a majority of you guys want to become entrepreneurs and do business. And it is proven from research as well. Ogolangi generation more lean towards we need freedom, we need financial freedom, or I need more control of my life. We need financial or money, or we need more, we need to create more opportunities, create jobs. This is the trend. This is proven across the world and even in Sri Lanka, right? මට මෙතනදී පොඩි උදාහරණයක් කියන්න ඕනේ. I have to tell this. So last 10 to 12 years when we were interviewing in our software business, I used to ask this question in the final interview from software engineers who are joining with us. What's your goal for the next 5 years, right? Early days, all right, early days, I think I want to become tech lead කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ I want to become an architect. 80%-90%ක්ම උත්තර ටික එහෙම තමයි. And then if you say like a QA person කෙනෙක් කියන QA engineer, මම QA team lead වෙන්න තමයි මගේ බලාපොරොත්තුව. Never heard any different answers 10-12 years ago. ඕක චුට්ට shift වුණා දැන්. Now these days when we are asking the same question, majority, I'm telling you this, majority people, I want to do my own thing. Majority of the people who are coming to the interviews telling I will eventually do my own thing. And then ඒකෙත් granular level එකට ගියාම හුඟක් අය very open and honest and saying I want this job just for sharpen my skills for 2 years and get the industry experience for 2 or 3 years, then I will go and do my own thing. They are upfront, they tell that, and they have the entrepreneurship journey or vision very early, and they're very quite open with that. I think May trend we are experiencing in Sri Lanka. I'm personally experiencing it, and in the world also that's the trend. Make a product extreme level එකට ගියාම I told you guys are a generation challenging the status quo. ඒ කියන්නේ current status quo එක challenge කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මේ ලෝකේ දැනට පිළිගත් සම්ප්‍රදායන් challenge කරන generation එකක් ඕගොල්ලෝ. ඇයි මම එහෙම කියන්නේ උදාහරණයක්ත් තියෙනවා මේ අපේ environment එකේම තියෙනවා මේ we recently had a software engineer, you won't believe, no degree, just after all levels, right? but software engineer working in a real life cutting edge project, earning similar salaries as a normal software engineer, very young. And I was having a discussion with him when I was interviewing him. Why don't you think you need to have to go to the university and have a degree? ඉතින් degree එකක් කරා කියලා eventually මම ඉන්න යන්නෙත් මෙතනමනේ. Answer එක. Which is eye opener, right? And he's telling the story. Most of the people who are in the university, they are studying the all things, and I'm actually doing things already in the real life projects. So why should I think? There are pros and cons to that answer, but that's the mindset. Not just one person. I heard this over and over and over again. We recently advertised for an AI engineer. Majority of these people who apply, very young people. And they are challenging the status quo. Your generation. ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ generation එක challenge කරනවා. A status quo එක. And also entrepreneurship කිව්වහම your generation is challenging that. ඇයි අපි business කරන්නේ? This is a too much profit-oriented world. You guys are challenging that. No, there should be a world for us to live. There should be a value system in the world. So, අන්න ඒ වගේ belief system එකේ shift එකක් මේ අලුත් generation එකේ තියෙනවා. So, ඒක නිසා මෙහෙම natural tendency එකක් තියෙන නිසා ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන්න, I will give you some insights about how to actually think and advance your thinking in that way, right? So let's go to your life's roadmap. Now, then I would say around 20-25 years of age. You're now here, right? Past is past. You cannot take it back. So in Sri Lanka, I put like maximum expectancy, life expectancy around 76, right? Metanadi, when you are in here, mostly people are thinking, what should I do? Make a සමහරලාට දැන් හිතනවා එහෙම නැත්නම් යුනිවර්සිටි එකෙන් ඉවර වෙනකොට හිතනවා who should I be? එතනින් පස්සේ මම මෙතන මේ mid age තියනවා මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 30 to 40, 35, 40 වගේ. People just established in their life and pass a very quiet period, specifically not starting new things, not changing a lot of things, because the reason is මේ කාලෙදි තමයි ඕගොල්ලෝ marry කරලා family එකක් ඉන්නවා, commitments තියෙනවා. ඒ කාලේ ලොකු challenges ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. There are exceptions, but මේ කාලේ තමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් established වෙන කාලේ 30 to 40. මෙන්න මේ කාලේ තමයි you could get do new things. You have energy. You could actually take challenges. So මෙන්න මේ කාලෙදී ඕගොල්ලෝ ගන්න තීරණ ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ lifetime එකටම බලපාන. So which is now how you think will affect your whole life, your friends and family, how you interact with them in future, and what impact you are going to make in the world will define how you think in this time. So මෙන්න මේ කාලේ, ඒ කියන්නේ මේ දැන් කාලේ ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන විදිය ඊටාම වැදගත්. අපි දකින ලෝකයේ ඉස්සරහ පැවැත්මටත් ඒ වගේම ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ ජීවිතේ ඉස්සරහා යන විදිහට, right? ඉතින් මේකෙදි හරි clear mind එකකින් හිතන්න ඕනේ. Because as I mentioned, Generation Z, you guys tend to challenge the status quo, tend to challenge the way of things in the world as it is, but there are things you need to go back to your roots and see what's your purpose in life. That's very important. There are few key areas in your life you need to actually think now, right? We talked about entrepreneurship, we talked about jobs, we talked about freelancing and investment. That all comes to this category, financial and wealth, right? Key areas වලට fill වෙන්නේ මේක. සල්ලි තිබුණා කියලා එහෙම නැතිනම් financially success කියලා එහෙම නැත්නම් very rich කියලා life is not going to be a successful life just with this, right? Obviously this is the key pillar, key area, but it's not everything. මෙන්න මේක දැම්මින්දම ඔළුවේ හිතා ගන්න generation Z අය විදිහට shiny object එක මේක. Brilliant car එකක් තියෙනවා, මට ඕන දේ කරන්න ඕන වෙලාවට සල්ලි තියෙනවා, I can take a holiday whenever I want, wherever I want. This is just one part in life, right? මෙන්න මේ ඉතුරු key areas අමතක කරන්න එපා. That also part of your life, right? Life එකේ successful වෙනවා කියන්නේ මේක විතරක් නෙමෙයි. You have to be successful, or you have to be good in your health, right? That's part of your life. You have to have healthy relationships with your family, with your spouse, your friends. It's very important. And this one, social responsibility. මේක දැන් ඇත්තටම generation C එකේ මේක පේනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතනවා selfish විදියට හිතනවට වඩා නෑ. We need to think as a community. We need to think as a human species. Social responsibility එකක් ඕගොල්ලොන්ට තියෙනවා. Right? ඒක part of life. And also, අර හුඟක් අය entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙන්න කැමති කියලා හිතන දේවල් තියෙනවා lifestyle and personal කියන දේ. Can I want to have freedom. I want to do whatever I want when I want. I want to have control in my life. They come to this lifestyle and personal things. That's also important. I want to write a book. I want someday to start a YouTube channel. These are things you need to do, right? But maybe mix somehow interrelations, but these are few different key areas in your life. Make a vitarak master karot, there will be big troubles in future in your life. And it's not going to good for the world too. You need to do a positive impact for the world. If you are becoming an entrepreneur, also you need to think about the other aspects as well. Make a vitarak unot වෙන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක්. සල්ලි හුඟක් තියනවා නම් එහෙම නැත්නම් you are very rich. You have noticed like very rich businessmen, no value system, no ethics, right? එහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ generation එක මේ status quo එක challenge කරනවා. capitalism එකේ challenge කරන generation එක. ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේවා ගැන වැඩියෙන් හිතනවා දැන්. social responsibility. අපි පරිසරය ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ. අපි health එක ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ. lifestyle එක ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ. Few recent candidates told that they want to travel in future, next 5 years. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ lifestyle එක 5 years, they want to travel around the world, see new things, still doing things in job or in their startup or anything, but lifestyle, yes, you need to think about those things as well. මෙන්න මේ ඔක්කොම සම්පූර්ණ වුණාම තමයි it's going to be a successful life and you are going to make a positive impact in the world, right? So that's I want to tell you as generation Z, මෙන්න මේක මට important කියන්න ඕනේ. අපේ generation එක අපි ඉස්කෝලේ යන කාලේ එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි යුනිවර්සිටි ඊට පස්සේ ගිය කාලෙට වඩා දැන් world එක change වෙන rate එක වැඩි. So the world is changing very, very fast, right? It's exponential change. Believe me, in the next 10 years, 15 years, the world we are going to live is not going to look like this, and it's going to be a dramatic change. It's going to be a dramatic change how we interact with each other, our mindset. Everything is going to change very fast. And as Generation Z, you guys are leading that wave. Make key areas කිහිපයක් තියෙනවා මම මේක එන්නම් ආපහු entrepreneurship වලට. Socio-economic values are changing. ඇයි මම මේක කියන්නේ? දැන් මෙතන ඉන්න මැජර් ඉස්සරහට බිස්නස් එකක් කරන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් ස්ටාර්ට්අප් එකක් කරන්න අලුත් අයිඩියා එකක් එළියට ගෙනියන්න ඉන්න අය ඉන්නවනම් මේක ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න. අපි මේ දැන් දකින ලෝකයේ සමහර තියෙන අපි හිතමු කැපිටලිසම් කියලා. කැපිටලිසම් එක චැලෙන්ජ් වෙනවා. right? මේ දැන් කැපිටලිසම් එක උනත් චැලෙන්ජ් වෙනවා. මේක මීට වඩා වෙනස් විදියකට වෙන්න ඕනේ. මේක මීට වඩා වැලියු සිස්ටම් එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So if you are going to do business, if you are going to do a startup, you need to be aware of that. Things are changing and it is changing rapidly, right? And global power is shifting. Global power is shifting. Regardless, we like it or not, west to east, the global power is shifting. අපි මෙච්චර කල් දකින US එහෙම නැත්නම් western world එකේ තියෙන scientific knowledge එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ prosperity එක gradually moving to east, right? That's also going to impact how you are going to do business, your target markets, your consumers, your users, going to change that, right? දැන් අපි ඒ කාලේ අපි මට මතකයි අපි යුනිවර්සිටි කාලේ ස්ටාර්ට්අප් එකක් කරනවා නම් හැමතිස්සෙම අපි ටාගට් කරන්නෙම target users from Europe, target users from this platform from US, Australia, right? But now it's slowly changing. මොකද ඒ කාලේ පොඩි මේ gap එකක් තිබ්බා east එකේ. Let's say India or China or Japan ඒ වගේ පැතිවල මේ ඉන්න users ලගේ පොඩි gap එකක් තිබ්බා. Now the global power, just the power is shifting. That's going to change how you are going to do business in future. And most importantly, this is the most important thing, AI and technology is going to change how we live, right? මේ world එක change වෙනවා කියන එක අපි දන්නවනේ. 3000 years ago, 2000 years ago, 1000 years ago, it was industrial revolution, electronic revolution, then we had the mobile phone revolution, then 5G, then now AI. But this is now 10x faster than 10 years ago. Things are changing very fast and technology is leading the way. AI is going to change how we live. If it is going to change how we live, it will change the way we are going to do business as well. Entrepreneurs la විදියට ඒක ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න. මොනම field එකක ඔයගොල්ලෝ startup එකක් එහෙම නැත්නම් business එකක් කරන්න ගියත් මේ technology එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ fundamental දෙයක් විදියට තියාගන්න. You need to keep technology as your the fundamental leverage factor. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒක use කරේ නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට adapt වෙන්න බෑ, survive වෙන්න බෑ. We saw that you guys had, let's say, restaurants and food category එකේ majority of you guys wanted to do some business, right? But if you guys are not leveraging technology in that business, you are not going to survive in the next 10 years. You like it or not, that's going to happen. ඔගොල්ලන්ගේ කෑම ඉතාම රස වෙන්න පුළුවන් restaurant එකේ. But if you are not leveraging technology wisely and correctly, you won't be able to survive in the upcoming world. දැන් අපි උදාහරණයක් විදියට මේ food ගත්තොත් එහෙම හුඟක් රටවල දැන් ලංකාවේනේ serve කරන්න කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. දැන් හුඟක් සමහර රටවල cashier එකේ just fully automated. You just type it in, go into the restaurant, order through the tablet. It comes from a belt or from a robot, right? It already happening. In the food restaurant industry, camera රස. That's the key. But if you are not leveraging technology, you won't be able to survive. And also you need to actually integrate with online ordering, Uber Eats, gig economy, all those things, and also AI. This is the fundamental thing you as a generation going to face. Technology is moving very fast. You need to embrace that. As the entrepreneurs, startups, ඕගොල්ලෝ මේක leverage කරන්නම ඕනේ successful වෙන්න. එහෙම නැති වුණොත් survive වෙන්න හරි අමාරු වෙනවා. Right? So now I told you the socio-economic values in the world is changing. Global power is shifting west to east. Technology is changing. නිකන් අපි හැමදාම අහන දෙයක් නේ, world is changing, but there's a rapid change coming, right? Is it a good thing or bad thing as entrepreneurs? This is absolutely good thing. If you are creative, if you are thinking out of the box, if you are innovative, this creates new opportunities. In any industry, you can create new opportunities, new startups, new revenue models. There's so much opportunities coming up in the next few years. Even now, it's coming, right? So this is a positive thing. World is changing. That change brings new opportunities. Generation Z, you need to actually now utilize these opportunities, identify these opportunities, and get on now, not later. I will talk about that now in the next slide. So Lankawa, we all know Lankawa පොඩ්ඩක් හැමදේම පොඩියට පිටිපස්සෙන් ඉන්නේ. In other countries, let's say Australia, US, or Europe, this is already happening, right? Gen Z entrepreneurs, university එකට කලින් ඉඳන්ම එනවා දැන්. They are like student entrepreneurs. High school කාලේ ඉඳන්ම startup එකක් ගැන හිතනවා, startup එකක් side on the side කරනවා. හරි? මේගොල්ලන්ගේ characteristics බලන්න. මෙන්න මේ key characteristics තියෙන. They are value driven. මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කිව්වා they are value driven, and you are too. I can see that even in Sri Lanka, they are value driven. They want to make a positive impact, not just money. They want some value driven activities to be engaged in their entrepreneurial journey. Positive impact. And they're very tech savvy. Obviously, they are very tech savvy, right? This Gen Z entrepreneurs. And the last one, I already talked about that, more sustainability and social justice. They're more leaning towards sustainability. Loke pavatma, human species එකක් විදියට පැවැත්ම ගැන හිතනවා. Environment එක ගැන හිතනවා. And also the second one, this is from leading journals and research papers and leading articles. They are more thinking about social justice. They're thinking about exploitation. මිනිසුන් exploit කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. They're more thinking about the gap which has created by the capitalism. They're thinking about that. I have seen some of the entrepreneurs already talking about, Gen Z entrepreneurs talking about universal salary schemes. හැමෝටම universal salary එකක් ඕනේ කියන, ඒ කියන්නේ හැමෝම 100%ක්ම entrepreneurs ලා වෙන්නේ නැහැ, jobs කරන අය ඉන්නවනේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ට universal salary schemes ගැන කතා කරන forums තියෙනවා දැන්. And they are more leaning towards more environmentalism, eco-friendly, එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ pollution නැති වෙන දේවල් ගැන they are very conscious about it. The මේ key elements එක තමයි Gen Z entrepreneurs ලා move වෙන්නේ. දැන් මේවා ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ තියෙනවා නැත්te නෑ. Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, you have these. Sri Lankan Gen Z entrepreneurs, you have it. But you need to polish these things up very quickly, because this is the trend moving the world in the next 10 years, right? Now, if you want to become an entrepreneur, to do to do a startup අලුත් idea එකක් එළියට ගෙනියන්න මොනවද තියෙන challenges? These are standard, right? Gen Z or Gen Y ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන ඕනම මේ generation එකක තියෙන අයට තියෙන challenges. පළවෙනි මේක self doubt, right? අමාරු මේක මට මේක කරගන්න පුළුවන් වේද? Can I do it? What would happen if this failed, right? මොකද වෙන්නේ? I'm not doing a job. එහෙම නැත්නම් මට මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ මේක හරි ගියේ නැති වුණා. Self doubt. This is one of the key challenges you need to overcome. And දෙවෙනි එකත් very important, right? මොකද ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉන්නේ Gen X ඉන්න world එකක කීපයක් ඉන්නවා අපි හිතමුකෝ older generation ඊළඟට Gen Y, probably parents and mid-age people like us, Gen Y, and you are Gen Z. Visheshenma Lankavi, especially in Sri Lanka, I have seen this. People give advice to people, but they're not experts or they haven't proven that they're done anything in that field, but they're giving advices. අපෝ ඔහොම බිස්නස් එකක් කරන්න ගියොත් ඕක හරියන්නේ නැහැ, ඕක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඕම business කරන්න බෑ. You need to do a job එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ. And you need to first think about something to, like stable වෙන්න හිතන්න ඕනේ. මම කියන්නේ මේ හැම advice එකම වැරදි කියලා. There are merits to each advice. But you need to be very careful cherry picking the advice. If someone is advising you, first thing you need to look at advice එක දෙන කෙනා ඒ field එකෙන් success වෙලාද? කවුරු හරි really successful in job saying you are job එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ, job එක කරාම මෙහෙම වෙනවා කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන් නම් that's good because that person already proven, right? හැබැයි job එකක් හරියට කරලා නැතුව සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට job එකක් කරගෙන ඉන්න කෙනෙක් startup එකක් business එකක් කරලා successful වෙච්ච නැති කෙනෙක් investor කෙනෙකුත් නොවන කෙනෙක් ඕගොල්ලෝ startup එකක් කරන්න යනකොට it's not going to work. It's challenging. If you are going to do it, should be like this. අන්න ඒ වගේ advice එකක් දුන්නොත් be careful, right? Always check the merit of the person, whether he or she has done it, whether she has the merit to advise someone about anything. Entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙනකොට ඔන්න ඔය influence එක ලොකුවටම එනවා මුලදී. Especially in your age, there will be this influence, right? And not having life's balance, that's also a challenge. But in your age, ඔගොල්ලෝගේ මේ age group එකේ මේක ලොකුවටම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඒ energy එක, ඒ life balance එක පොඩ්ඩක් අනිත් අයට වඩා ඔයගොල්ලෝ flexible. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට energy එක තියෙනවා. You have coping, you can work a little bit hard in this time, and there are less risks. You don't have a family now. You don't have a lot of commitments, so there you can take risks and සමහර වෙලාවට සමහර දේවල් මිස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But that's also a challenge you need to overcome, right? And then once you become an entrepreneur or start the startup journey or start your business, then you think, how should I grow my business? How should I actually get more customers? How should I get more users? How should I market? Growth struggles. හිතන්න බෑ මේ කොහොමද කරන්නේ? That will actually become a real problem in the early days. And then you will face financial struggles. Running a business, running a startup, early days, it's hard. You need to put everything you have. There's no income. You are not doing a job. You are not sometimes getting investments in the early stage. You have to pump money from a credit card, from friends and family, and earn revenue and reinvest in your business. So there's a real struggle, right? එහෙම නැත්නම් ඕගොල්ලෝ අර මම කිව්වේ entrepreneur කියන category එකේ ඉඳගෙන shift වෙනවා නම් businessman කියලා. එතකොට ඔය පොඩි මේ කාලයක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් overlap. එතකොට business මේ job එකෙන් earn කරන money තමයි ඉතින් ජීවත් වෙන්නත් තියෙන්නේ. ඒ වගේම ස්ටාර්ට්අප් එකකට දාන්නත් තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ මුල් කාලේ yes financial struggle is very real, right? So these are the challenges you will face. Then මේක මෙහෙම කිව්වා කියලා do you need to be afraid of? No, not at all. These are, even if you do a job, even if you do freelance, these things, right? කොහොමද ප්‍රොමෝෂන් එකක් ගන්නෙ, කොහොමද සැලරි ඉන්ක්‍රිමන්ට් එකක් තියෙන්නේ, self doubt, මට ඊළඟ skill set එක වැඩ කරගන්නේ කොහොමද, bad advice from high level of employees, that will happen, burnout, that will happen. මේක entrepreneurs ලට විතරක් unique ම නෑ, ඒ category එකට අදාළව yes uniqueness එකක් තියෙනවා. But may challenges very real, right? Now, let's move to the skills you need to become an entrepreneur. So if you guys ask me, I want to become a software engineer, right? We could say you need to have backend experience, AWS experience, or let's say programming skills, and then problem solving skills. Those are the things. But becoming an entrepreneur, you need to have a lot more skills. And you don't need to take certifications or write face exams now to get these skills. මොකද මේ skills ඕගොල්ලෝ කරන්න course එකක් කරන්න, YouTube follow කරන්න, එහෙම නැත්නම් articles කියවලා ඒවා ඉගෙන ගන්න, ඒවයින් එනවා දැනුම. නමුත් ඒ ඔක්කොම කරගෙන entrepreneur කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඕන කියලා හිටියොත් it will never happen, right? So at least you need to have the passion and the industry expertise, whatever food category එක නම් ඒක ගැන passion එක පොඩි අවබෝධයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් software field එකේ නම් ඒක ගැන අවබෝධයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. And then you need to be really good in problem solving, resilience, communication, working with people, presenting, pitching, sales and marketing, management, leadership, strategic thinking, creativity, and a lot more. දැන් මේක බැලුවම අම්බෝ මේකේ ඔක්කොම තියෙනවානේ. Actually, if you really want to be very successful, give or take, you need to have these skills. සමහර ඒවායින් ඕගොල්ලෝ master වෙන්න පුළුවන්, සමහර ඒවායින් අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. That's okay. And that point you will recruit the right people to do the job for you. And you are really not good in presenting and pitching, or if you are not good in sales and marketing, you will actually recruit people. But you need to know the bare basics, at least an idea, very high level. You don't need to be an expert at all, but you need to have a common sense about sales and marketing. If sales and marketing person comes to you and say, hey, I need ලක්ෂ 20ක් යන advertising campaign එකට, ඔයාට common sense එකක් තියෙනවනේ නෑ. එච්චර වෙන්න බෑ. මේක ඊට වඩා මේ අපිට budget එකකින් ඊට වඩා creatively market කරන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියන එක, right? So yes, you need to have high level understanding. So may skills you don't need to have now. Courses follow කරන්න සමහරලාට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන්. Don't worry, you will learn this as you go. And that's the beauty in entrepreneurship. You will learn things as you go, right? And there will be failures, but that's part of the journey. Ups තියෙනවා, downs තියෙනවා, that's okay. And before moving to Q&A, my biggest advice, and මම මෙන්න මේ slide එකට ආයන්න. When to become a businessman, or when to start my startup? What is the ideal time frame? කොයි කාලෙද මගේ startup එක පටන් ගන්න හොඳම? එහෙම නැත්නම් මගේ business idea එක kick කරන්න හොඳම කාලේ මොකක්ද? දැන් හිතන්න පුළුවන් පොඩ්ඩක් job එකක් කරලා ටිකක් earn කරගෙන එතනදී මම වැරද්දක් නැහැ. No problem. Past is past. You cannot start a business in the past, in your past life, right? So, or else you would think, all right, first I will get married and settle, and then I will start a business with my partner. මෙන්න මේ හරියට ඉතින් මම දන්නේ නැහැ එහෙම හිතෙනවා නම් කාට හරි 50-60දී රිටයර්මන්ට් ඒජ් එකේදී වැරද්දක් නැහැ. එහෙම එක්සැම්පල්ස් නුත් තියෙනවා. But there's something wrong. එහෙම දැන් හිතනවා නම් මං රිටයර් වෙලා තමයි බිස්නස් එක කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Something wrong, right? මේ but එහෙම එක්සැම්පල් තියෙනවා නැත්තේ නෑ. The right time to start a business is now. The right time to get started, especially in your generation, especially in your age bracket, is now. හරිනම් first year, second year, third year හිතන්න පුළුවන් නෑ ඒක දැන් ඒ පාස්මයි දැන් අදහසක් තියෙනවා නම් දැම්මම වතුරට බහින්න පටන් ගන්න. You will figure it out. That's my advice. Just get the start, you will figure it out. Right? Thank you very much, everyone. So that's the brief overview of Gen Z and facing Gen Z in the modern day challenges in entrepreneurship. I would like to take questions. Anyone would like to ask any questions? Please go ahead and ask questions.
All right, guys. Now it's time for the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can either unmute yourselves or drop them in the chat.
ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්න ඕනේ නේද? You guys should have questions. Yes, Mishara, please ask the question.
Hello, Mr. Lahiru. I'm Mishara. Hope you can remember me from our first company meeting.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure to meet you again, even if it's virtual. Me move into my question. When I was in my first year, myself and 3 of my friends started a project for an idea. We won that competition, and after that, we were given many support from many people. With the guidance of Dr. Shan, also we change our direction and we created a project and we turned it into an innovative area. In the sometimes we lost, sometimes we even wanted to give up, but now we are in a position that we need to expand this, we need to turn this into a good business. But in that point, our main issue is we are just 4 and we need to expand our team. In that case, do you have any advice that can be given to us? How can we select our teammates? How can we add some more partners to this project and do it as a business? Is there any specific advice that you can give us?
All right. Thank you very much. Can I know which industry is this business in?
Yes, Mr. Lahiru, it's called, it's kind of a business that is created for the waste management industry. We are an ERP management system, like we are giving them an IT-based solution to manage their businesses.
All right.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Sure. So in this case, if I get your question correctly, there were ups and downs, but you now need to expand. But what you're facing is you need more people in your team.
Yes.
And to grow the problem, this is very common in this stage of the business early days. So first thing, either you can recruit, but that's not an option, I think, unless you are earning revenue, right? Earning revenue, or if you had any investments, then you could actually use that investment to get people in, right? Basically, if your business is really good, If you are thinking to expand, one of the first option is create a pitch deck, approach few early stage investors. There are Sri Lankan people and also overseas people as well. Create a pitch deck. This is our business. This is what we are doing. This is what we have done. And these are the revenue models we are thinking. And this is our future of our business. This is what we are thinking. We want to expand. And to expand, we need capital. So one of the things, do a pitch deck and approach few people so you could actually raise some capital, right? Why you are raising capital? You're not going to initially do massive marketing campaigns, TV advertisement, nothing like that. Your goal is to expand your team to reach your business goals. Basically, you want more helping hands to get it. Now, think creatively. ඕක තමයි obvious way. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් වෙන දේ ඒක තමයි දැන් ඔයා expand වෙනවා. ඔයාට you need more people to work in your business, but you don't have money, right? Because you need to pay for them. No one is going to work for free. Now think creatively. All right. We are team of university students, right? You guys are team of university students. 4 people. Project is good. You are believing it. Now, මම පළවෙනියට කියපු option එක තියෙනවා. Yes, creating a pitch deck, go to investors, even you are very early stage, try it. Second option, think creatively. Now, make how are you going to get helping hand from other people in your university, probably your junior batch, probably someone in your same batch. Few ways. If they're junior batch, you could actually turn this as an opportunity to them, right? මෙහෙම හිතන්න මම උදාහරණයක් කියන්නම් මේ මම පොඩි කාලේ කියවපු පොතක තිබ්බ දෙයක්. මට මතක නැහැ පොතේ මොකක්ද කියලා. ඒ ළමයාට දෙනවා තාප්පේ තීන්ත ගන්නට. මේක මාර කරදරයක් අකමැතිම වැඩක්. යාළුවෝ ටික ඇවිල්ලා සෙල්ලම් කරන්න එන්න කියනවා. මෙයාට තින්ත ගන්න. දැන් අම්මට හරි කවුරු ගෙදර අය තින්ත ගන්න. ඉතින් මෙයා තින්ත ගන්න. He thought like this. Oh, I will create an opportunity from this. එයා මොකද කරේ? mindset එක change කරා. නෑ මේකේ තින්ත ගන්න එක මාර privilege එකක්. Right? මේ හැමෝටම හම්බෙන්නේ නෑ පොඩි වයසේ කට්ටියට මෙහෙම තින්ත ගන්න. කියලා අර සෙල්ලම් කරන්න එන යාළුවන්ට පොඩ්ඩක් created this mindset. And everyone was, oh, can I also try this for a minute? Can I also try this? නෑ මම දෙන්නේ නෑ. එහෙම දෙනවා නම් මට මොකක් හරි මට මෙන්න මේක ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්තම් මට ඔයාගේ සෙල්ලම් බඩුවෙන් මෙන්න මේක ඕනේ. He earned a lot of things and he actually painted the whole wall few times, right? මේක hypothetical කතාවක තිබ්බ දෙයක්. නමුත් මම කියන්නේ value එක create කරන විදිය. දැන් ඔයාගේ business එකේ මේ value එක ඔයාට පුළුවන් you could create this value even to your batchmates. දැන් මෙතන ඉන්න batchmates ලා මේක ඔක්කොම මේ රහස දන්නවා. ඒකට ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔයාගේ මේ ඔය මේ pitch එකට කැමති වෙන එකක් නැහැ, but let's say juniors. Actually it is the value for them. Involving in a real life project, right? Involving in a startup, working with the team, market them and get them to involve, and you don't need to pay, but involving in that project is a privilege, right? It's an experience for them. They could gain knowledge, they could contribute their skill set, and also they could actually once this project is moving ahead well, it could be an internship internally, or it could be a job you are giving them, right? Once you raise capital, if you find the right people. ඉතින් මෙතනදී if you are selecting specific skill sets, try to find the people who can deliver. එක අනිත් ඔප්ෂන් එක. ඒ කියන්නේ තියෙන environment එකෙන්ම value එක create කරලා value එක through එක මේවා කරන එක. There's another option. You could bring equity share for this business. If you haven't even registered the business, at least consider in future to register the business as a business, so as a company in future. And then if you think there's a really good person who can help us to get things done, approach that person, probably in your network at this stage, and tell him, we are happy to give you an equity share in this project. Equity share කියන්නේ මේ company එකේ share එකක් දෙන්න කැමති. ඉස්සරහට මේක profitable වුණොත් ඔයාටත් මේකේ share එකක් එනවා. Right? So කියලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට pitch කරන්න, so they will actually work for you or do the work in the assumption this will go well and there will be a profitable business created after some time. So the benefits can be enjoyed by everyone. So that's the third option. I think මට පේන විදිහට those are the three options you have, but based on your level of the business and the level of the operation, those things you could actually try. And also, then ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, you guys four people in there. One of the things I would suggest is like if there are more work to do, probably I would say approaching other companies, telling about your things, creating a email draft, doing a presentation for them, or doing a pitch deck for them, and also probably admin work, right? Those kind of things. Utilize AI for that. Doing a presentation, creating an email draft, creating a documentation, or putting a website in. Just ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ capacity එක තියෙනවානේ. ඕගොල්ලෝ පැය 4 හෝ you have 4 hours, 5 hours per day, whichever, maximize it by leveraging AI or technology, right? සමහර වෙලාවට presentation එකක් හෝ pitch deck එකක් හදන්න investigate කරනවා නම් පැය invest කරන time එක පැය 8ක් research කරන්න, ඒක cut කරන්න පුළුවන් සෑහෙන time එකකින්. You can cut the time by half or more than half, and then save your time and use that time to more do productive work in your business. I think options ටික තමයි මට දැනට පේන්නේ. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, Mr. Lahiru, understood, and I got the idea. So thank you so much for your insights, and thank you so much for today's session as well. It was really informative and insightful. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you very much. And before you go, finally, sooner or later, if you really believe in your project, you need to bring in some cash injection if you're not earning money, right? Again, business එකෙන්ම earn වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් සල්ලි, business එක run කරන්න, you need finance, right? So you need to work on bringing in investors or other parties into the team. So you need to think about a pitch deck and how to do a pitch deck. A lot of resources out there. I would encourage you to do it now, even now. Sooner or later, it will be very helpful for you. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lahiru, thank you so much.
Any other questions? All right, Uvindu. So Uvindu Kamode, how can entrepreneurs tap? I will take the first one, Uvindu's question. How can entrepreneurs tap into Gen Z trends and preferences to create innovative products or services that resonate with this generation? Very good question. Uvindu, I told you in my presentation, there's a mind shift change in this generation. You guys more want to see a positive impact in the world, right? So in that case, if you are thinking to promote your business or start a business, think in their mindset. But one thing I need to let you know, in this world, Generation Z is part of the population. You still have Generation Y and some Generation X as well, right? So the world is created with all those mix of generations at the moment, but in future, the majority will be Gen Z. But if you're specifically targeting Gen Z, the trend is this. Rather than saying, like, if it is a cool product, let's say, I will show you this, right? This is a cool product I actually use. This is charging the external charger. You could actually do it and it's charge. It's a very cool product, right? And you could keep the phone like this. Very cool product, right? Not too innovative, but it's a cool product. So Gen Z, are they attracted to this innovation? Yes. What else? What else they are attracted is if this product is made out of environmentally friendly. And if you could tell this is very sustainable and helping the world to become a more sustainable world, bonus points coming in from Generation Z. They think this is also innovative, looks good, this is sustainable. They have used, let's say this plastic is being used by recycled bottles, right? There is even if your product is a little bit expensive than the other competitors, Generation Z unconsciously think these guys are doing something good for the environment, good for the planet. And naturally, unconsciously, they go for that, right? So Gen Z actually think like that. අපේ කාලේ අපි ඔච්චර ලොකුටම හිතුවේ නෑ වුණු. ගාන අඩු නම්, right? If it looks good, if it does if you can, this is brilliant, touch කරාම charge වෙනවා නියමයි, milliamp ගාන මෙච්චරයි නියමයි, brilliant. Now you guys think more than that. Sustainability. මේ product එක ඇත්තටම recycle plastic වලින් හැදුවා කියන එක plus point. ලංකාවේ ලොකුවටම මේක හිතෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. In other countries they consider. Even in Sri Lanka it will become a trend now in future, right? And also they think about the social justice, right? Nowadays, I have seen iPhone, you guys know iPhones are made in China, in Foxconn, right? They talk about the exploitation, people work long hours, and sometimes maybe even in coffee shops, now they advertise responsibility source. Again, මේගොල්ලෝ මේ generation මේ generation එකට දෙන message එක අපේ workforce එක අපි exploit කරලා නෙමෙයි මේවා කරන්නේ. Even in Starbucks, probably you might heard a coffee chain. They tell මේ අපි මේ source කරන්නේ coffee bean source කරන්නේ. Responsibility. We look after our people who are actually working in another country. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක ගැන හිතනවා. Generation Z ඒක ගැන හිතනවා. Right? කෝපි එක රස වෙන්න ඕනේ. නමුත් අරක තිබ්බහම unconsciously they'll stay. And also, we are currently working on a project, carbon emissions. Loki carbon emissions gana, then climate change gana, generations in hitano. Product එකක් දැන් carbon emission කියන එක එරෙහිව මොකක් හරි වැඩක් කරනවා නම්, if they're doing something to offset carbon, there's a chance Gen Z is actually attracted to that. මේ මම අර කිව්වනේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අර මේගොල්ලෝ socio economic change එකක් යනවා කියලා, මේ හරිද මේක හරිද කියලා question කරා. අන්න ඒවා if you address them in your product, in your startup, then you will get bonus points. You will get the attraction from Gen Z. Not necessarily in Sri Lankan Gen Z, essentially or the initial stages, but at least from the global or international market, you will get their attention. So try to add values across those things, but you need to have the core product, right? Core product එක හරියට තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ service එක හෝ product එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ, but ඒකට attach වෙලා අර value add-ons ටික තිබ්බාම attract වෙනවා. Naturally, but you need to be very honest. බොරුවට කියන්න බෑ. මේ අපි මේක plastic recycle කරලා හැදුවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් we are responsibly treating all the workforces. එහෙම බොරුවට කියන්න බෑ. එහෙම නැත්නම් we are doing carbon emissions, carbon offsets. ඒක නිසා we are very green initiative. එහෙම කියලා බොරුවට කියන්න බෑ. You have to be very honest, right? ඉතින් මේ trend එක McDonald's වල දැන් ඕගොල්ලෝ අනිත් රටවල මේක මේ යනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ Gen Z attract කරගන්න විදි. ඒ වගේම airlines. දැන් airlines වල දැන් ඕස්ට්‍රේලියා වල නම් when you're booking an air ticket, there's a greener option. So you pay a little bit more and they say to you, we will put this money towards the greener projects, right? So Gen Z think, I feel guilty polluting the world, carbon emission. So I will put $5 in more, and they're attracted to that, right? In our generations, probably Gen X, we didn't care. We didn't care about those things, but you guys care. So target the marketing campaigns and the value add-ons around those, like social justice, environmentalism, and then innovation, of course, yes. All right, I hope I answered the question, Uwinder. There's another person asking, Kizara, I'm an entrepreneur. So the question is, if I'm an entrepreneur for a business startup, I should get acknowledged about a lot of fields. I should have an expanded scope, but I'm only educated from a single field. How can we manage the problems that come up from other fields I'm unaware of? අපේ කාලේ නම් Kezara, so what we did, we had a tool. අපි දන්නේ නැති දෙයක් නම්, if we don't know, few options. We ask from someone, we ask from a mentor, we ask from someone in the industry, how to do this. If we do this, what are the consequences? We ask them. But in our time, that changed a little bit. We Googled, because the problem we are facing has been faced by some other people in the world somewhere, and their experience has been documented or in a YouTube video or in somewhere, giving that experience, and we took that experience. It's not perfect. Sometimes you need to be very good at searching, Googling, and find the right answer. So imagine if you are in a startup and you don't know nothing about legal, right? Let's say you need to create a MOU, or MOU is Memorandum of Understanding. That's a legal document, right? Or you don't know to create, someone asked you, all right, Kesara, I'm really interested about your business. I would like to discuss further with you, but I would like to have an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Again, information security, IP security, non-disclosure agreement, right? Then how do you do that? Either you need to go to a lawyer. That's what happened long time ago. අපේ කාලේ there are so many templates now. Templates, Google කරා template එක බැලුවා, ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් customize කරා. All right, here's අපේ UI එක දැම්මා, දුන්නා. Logo එක දැම්මා, දුන්නා. Here's our NDA, right? It did the job. But we didn't actually hire a lawyer at that stage. There are instances you need to hire a lawyer, right? Don't get me wrong. But if you are bootstrapping things in an early stage, now you have a better tool, right? You have large language models, or AI, right? Go to ChatGPT. I have used it personally, sometimes to create draft agreements, and then I took these draft agreements to the lawyer and say, hey, I have this thing, can you actually relook at and do the adjustments? So So it's always the agreement is actually done, finally given the green tick by the lawyer. But I get the support very easily from a large language model, ChatGPT. Specifically, if you are an entrepreneur or in a business, spend that $20 per month for ChatGPT 4, and it will help you. And then sometimes you need to get graphics done, for example, right? Or a video done, but you are not good at that. Then අපි හිතමුකෝ මට පොඩියට flyer එකක් හදන්න ඕනි. Or I need to do let's say marketing brochure, right? You don't know Photoshop, right? Very ඔයා කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ වගේ එකක් Photoshop දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතකොට Photoshop දන්න කෙනෙකුගෙන් අහගන්න ඕනේ. One thing, you download Photoshop's free trial and try to do something and try to something, but it's not looking good. Second way, ඔයා ඔය face කරන problem එක කෙසාරා ඔයා විතරක් නෙමේ early stage හැමෝටම face වෙනවා. එතකොට මේක problem එකක් විදිහට දැකපු entrepreneurs ලා ඉන්නවා. Right? මේක problem එකක් විදිහට දැකපු entrepreneurs ලා solution එකක් දීලා ඒකේ business එකක් කරපු අය ඉන්නවා. Right? දැන් අපි හිතමු වාට invitation එකක් brochure එකක් හදා ගන්න ඕනේ එහෙම නැත්නම් flyer එකක් හදා ගන්න ඕනේ brilliant presentation එකක් හදා graphics දන්නේ නැහැ photoshops දන්නේ නැහැ. Australia's richest 30 person billionaire, she's a billionaire, 30s, Canva, right? She actually identified that, created a platform without knowledge in graphic designing. You can go and use and create beautiful templates, beautiful brochures, invitation cards, or even small video clips as well, right? There are free versions, right? Again, මාසෙකට පොඩි limit එකක් තියෙනවා 10ක් ඒ වගේ, but ඔයාගේ මුල් ටිකට pay කරන්න නැතුව free version එකකින් use කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Use them. There are a lot of things like that out there, free, you can utilize to get your work done. And also, as I mentioned, use AI if you face any problem or anything you want to know in depth about something, engage in the right way with AI, and that will help you. And as always, other option එක මම කිව්වේ අනිත් network එකට reach out කරන්න, ask for help, ask them. ඉතින් මෙහෙම ටිකක් කරගෙන යනකොට කෙසාරා you will get better in things. You will not be a lawyer, but you will know NDA එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද. You will know what is MOU. You will know how to create a brochure or flyer. You will know how to create an email template. ඉතින් ඒ විදිහට ඔයා දන්නකොට ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාට ෆ්‍රීලාන්ස් ප්ලැට්ෆෝම්ස් වලට ගිහිල්ලා පොඩි ගාණක් වියදම් කරලා ඔයාට අවශ්‍ය වැඩේ විතරක් කියලා හදව ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒගොල්ලන්ට. Right? When you grow more, then you could recruit people to do the work. I hope I answered your question. Anyone else having any other questions? We might have another 5 minutes or so. Any other questions? Nisala Dinet. Yes, Nisala, please ask.
Sir, what simple steps can we take to make our workplace more appealing and supportive for Gen Z employees?
Workplace, right?
Yes.
All right. This is something I'm exploring as well, right? So in our office, we have in Sri Lanka Gen Zs, and also we have Gen Y. We don't have Gen Xs. So what I have identified is these things, right? Gen Z's workplace, mainly about the culture. They need to have challenging work, first thing, right? ඒගොල්ලන්ට engage වෙන්න, ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඒක තමන්ගේ හැකියාවන් really challenge වෙන්න අවශ්‍ය environment එකක්, ඒ කියන්නේ project එකක් වැඩක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. නැත්නම් they will get bored. right? You guys will get bored if there's no all plain stuff, like this is nothing new, it's very ordinary stuff. First thing, you need to create a challenging work environment so they can be challenged, they can put their effort into, and most importantly, they need to see their work is being delivered as a project or having an impact. මේක සමහරලාට software industry එකේ ටිකක් අමාරු වෙනවා clients ලා ඉන්නවනම් නමුත් අපේම products තියෙනවනම් if your own products you need to engage them in the full process, idea, execution, and then roll out. They need to see the value. Gen Z's, they're value driven. මට මේ part එක දීලා මේක කරා ඔන්න මගේ part එක කරා so I get the salary, right? They're not satisfied. To make it attractive, you need to give them the why you are doing this, the bigger picture, the vision. You need to give them. Constantly remind them why we are doing as a team. And then they need to see the value of the work they're doing. Second one. So the third one is you cannot actually specifically, I need to tell Gen Z's, they don't like micromanaging or managing, right? Sometimes there might be instances you have to do it, but you need to create a very friendly, productive environment which will not encourage micromanagement. So give them the responsibility, give them the ownership of what they are doing, so they feel that they are part of the team, and give them that freedom. And in Sri Lanka, you cannot give 100% freedom because people will try to exploit it, but try to give the freedom, but within limitations. Create them the atmosphere. If I tell you the previous all things, like you could get day outs, or there are trips, or there are parties, they're good. They're good part of the culture. Gen Z's, you guys will like that. Yeah, if there's a party, you will go there. If there's an annual trip, you will go there. If there's a day out, you will enjoy it. But that's not the only thing they're attracted to. And also salary is not the only thing they're attracted to. It's a mixture of everything, right? There should be a value of the product, the innovation, good payment, the culture, the friendliness, and sense of belonging and the ownership of the project. And they know why they're doing this. So you need to address all those things to keep a favorable environment for Gen Zs. And in saying that, this is for HR or culture driven companies like us. For us also, we are actually exploring the ways. What we are thinking in future is for these Gen Zs to provide the opportunity in the workplace to engage in entrepreneurial activities. උදාහරණයක් විදියට job එකකට ආවේ, right? So we are going to do that in 2024, and some other companies are also trying this. Namuth, if they have an idea, the company give them the opportunity to work on their startup, and company co-invest in that their idea. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ දේවල් වලදී පොඩි favorable environment එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන්. But you need to understand Gen Z ඕගොල්ලෝ වගේ අය they're challenging the status quo, right? So they're challenging the normal way of things. So if you want to engage them, you need to have all those things, mix and match of things of these things. Hope I answer the question. I can take another final question. Anyone? I think that's pretty much it then. So Shari, I think we are done for today, and I'm looking
Yes.
forward to the next events in exposition. And hopefully, I would love to come and meet you guys in the university, probably in January. Congratulations for all the hard work in exposition team you are putting so far, and look forward to actually collaborate with you and provide any assistance and support in future too.
Yeah, Mr. Lahiru, thank you so much for graciously sharing your insights. We truly appreciate the time and dedication you invested in today's session, and I'm confident our young minds will showcase their true potential, particularly in light of the valuable knowledge you have imparted.
All
As we,
right.
yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Lahiru.
All
And
right.
as we
Go.
conclude today's session, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude and wishes to all of you for being a part of Exposition Entrepreneurial Community. Keep dreaming big, crafting ideas, and turning them into awesome entrepreneurial wins. Have a good day.
The recording has stopped.